Number 5. So you can tell by this that it's a 30, 60, 90. So let's go ahead and label. So that means the hypotenuse is 2n. The side opposite 30 is n. And the side opposite the 60 angle is n square root of 3. So we'll start out with what we know. We're given 2n equals 8 square root of 3. In order to get n alone, we have to divide by 2. So n equals 8 square root of 3, but we can divide the 8 and the 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4 times the square root of 3. So there's my n, which is actually my y. So there's one of my answers, 4 square root of 3. Okay, so now all we have to do is substitute in what we know in for this n here. So we have 4 square root of 3 but don't forget that's times by the square root of 3 that's part of this amount. So there's 2 square roots of 3. We can pull them out from underneath the square root symbol and we have, it becomes 1, 3. So my x equals 12. Number 9. Because these two sides are equal, we know that the angles opposite are equal or congruent. And with these two congruent sides and congruent angles, we know that this bisects this, so these two sides are equal. So that means that 18 is divided by 2. So this side's 9 and this side's 9. So now we just do the Pythagorean theorem. My hypotenuse is 26 squared. X squared right here, and we know this is 9 squared. 26 squared is 676. Equals x squared plus 81. Subtract 81 from both sides and you get 595 equals x squared. Take the square root of both and we have 24 24.39 equals x. Okay, the directions say determine whether each set of numbers can be a measure of the sides of a triangle. If so, classify the triangle as acute, obtuse, or right. So the first thing we've got to do is add up our two smaller sides. So we have to be very careful because these are not like terms. You can't add 5 square root of 2 to 10 and get 15 square root of 2. It's like adding a 5x plus 10 and getting 15x. You just can't do it. So this is what we're going to do instead. We're going to put this, we're going to add this together in our calculator. And when we do that, we're actually going to put this, when we put this in our calculator, we're going to get 17.07, and that is bigger than 11. So it is a triangle. So that's where we start. Okay. Next step, we've got to square this. Again, you need to be careful. When you square it, you're going to need to put double parentheses behind the two. A single here and then double here. This is exactly how, the way I'm putting this down on the paper is exactly how you type it in. Single parentheses 5 square root of 2, double parentheses squared, plus 10 squared. When you do that, you should get 150. Okay, 11 squared is easy. That's 121. So if the two smaller sides squared and added are small, or I did smaller. Let's erase that because that is not true. This is larger than 121, sorry. Then we know that it's acute. Okay, number 19. Given B is the midpoint of E to D, so that means that this side equals this side because this is the middle, cuts it in half. Angle A is congruent to angle C. Angle ABE is congruent to CBD, which could be used to prove ABE is congruent to CBD. Okay, let's eliminate. We don't have any information about any other sides than this one. So it can't be A because we don't have 3 sides to compare. It can't be B because we don't even have 2 sides to compare. It can't be D because there's no right angle. So it can't be hypotenuse leg. So let's look. Angle, angle, side. It's got to be C.